Hi, I'm Betty Coltrane.
I'm Ben Manning, and together we are.
Betty and Ben.
Well, you've done more
I've been
than me.
doing it for about 20 years, just over.
I think I've been about 15 years.
So you're still a baby, aren't you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've worked in a lot of different environments, regular training in offices and things, and outside of offices. I mean, it doesn't have to be office work.
So we've got some set sketches which are kind of standard ones which we can use, which usually actually we write for the client as well. So they'll tell us what kind of issues they've got, what kind of needs have to be addressed, and then we'll write a scene around that. But equally, we've done courses before where it's done on the day. So delegates will usually write on a flip chart, draw out their kind of nightmare situations or things they find difficult. Then we'll take that away, and after 15 or 20 minutes, we'll come back and perform a sketch, which is improvised based on the things that they've already said. So we can do it completely based on what they say on the day as well.
Yeah, we've done a thing where we were doing a bullying and harassment course, and there were 3 of us planted in the audience at the start, and 2 of us started actually bullying one of the other guy that was in the audience. But so people were getting involved in that argument, and it was showing before we started how people react to that. It was great. It was really effective.
Yeah, because when you reveal it then and you say these are actors and this is part of it, there's a bit of sort of sense of relief for one thing.
Yes.
But then it really does sort of make you stop and think, well, how did I deal with that?
It's a really good talking point,
Yeah.
because then you get a great discussion
Great rapport.
from what just happened, even though it only lasted a couple of minutes.
Yeah. And with the sketches themselves, again, we can use that in various ways. You could just do an outright, just you do the scene, and that becomes a talking point for then the facilitator to say, well, what did you notice there? What behaviours did you see? How did they react? And it's just sort of a standalone. Or we can do where we do hot seating as well. So you do the scene, and then you'll bring back the characters who will interact directly with the people on the course, where they can ask them questions and say, why did you say that? Why did you think that would work? And in character, then you kind of respond to that.
I think that's where the learning comes out as
Definitely.
well, because the actors will know what the learning points are from the course. So you can steer the delegates. If they're asking us questions or making comments, we can steer our responses to get them to be thinking and reflecting on what it is we're actually trying to teach them.
And what we often follow that up with then is sort of replaying the scene, whereas this time we tell the people on the course, if you see anything you don't like or you think was wrong, you stop the person. So during the discussion with the 2 actors, they can say, stop, don't say that, you need to try and say this instead. And then we can show live then how a different approach will give you a different response. It's also less conflict, because if you're trying to highlight some particular behaviours that are happening within an organisation, it can feel quite like you're conflicting or having a go at your team if you just raise it straight away. Whereas if you're showing separate people doing that, then the audience will see for themselves and see the impact it has. And they may recognise their own behaviours within it, but it's done in a safe way where nobody's sort of pointing the finger and saying, you do this.
Yes, we
They
do
can
get
just see
that.
it. Yeah.
Don't we? Sometimes we get people commissioning the training and saying, right, this is a specific problem we've got within the team. They may not know it themselves, but we need to highlight this and find a way of training them up on that. So we know what the customer wants, but we can do it in a way that the delegates don't feel threatened or don't feel picked on, bullied.
We can scale it down or up depending. So sometimes we have very outlandish characters and very crazy situations, because you still get a lot of learning out of that, but it's kind of more hidden within the comedy in a sense. Or we can scale it down so it's a bit more realistic. There's the difficult conversations training is always really good, where you manage to have a conversation they don't really want to, whether it's about particularly poor performance, or big changes within organisations as well that you know is going to be delivering
Or
bad news.
behaviours. Behaviours is always a difficult one.
Yeah, so they're very effective. The great thing with those is they're so practical, and to be able to sort of see that conversation you may be dreading portrayed in front of you, you get to see how and why it might go badly, and then you get to see how and why you can make it so much better. So there's a real, walking away from one of those sketches, you walk away with several ideas of, I know how I need to handle this conversation. People just really enjoy it. They do forget they're learning. We have such a good time doing it as well, and getting that interaction with people is great.
And I think they can tell that we're enjoying it, so they relax and they enjoy it as well. Yeah.